Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. Today I'm going to be doing stages 9 to 14 of the Deagostini Collectibles release of Bill Max Verstappen's RB19 Red Bull F1 racing car. Now it's looking like we're actually starting the engine in all of this. I don't think we're going to need any of the parts that we've previously worked on, so we're going to find that out together. But I did get a lot of prints in this, and as you can see through my international units of measure head, I have got some massive prints here. And let's have a look at these. Haven't looked at these myself yet. So here is the first one, looking just like that. Here is the second one, which I thought was just a complete blur until I saw the tiny car at the bottom there. Very artistic, that one. That's the sort of picture you'll find in a hotel room. And then here's the third one here, looking just like that. Now, if you want to get these for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also that QR code on the screen, but we are going to be working on the engine today. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to start with stage 9. Now, all of these magazines do have the instructions and also details in them, but I understand we get these in the UK. I can't confirm. I don't think we do get these in the US. So I think the magazine is only a UK thing. But as you can see, we're now starting the right-hand engine block here. So we're going to be putting these parts together like that, and that's how that's going to be looking. And here's everything for stage 9. When you do open these, check underneath this flap here, because sometimes you do get some bits trapped up there. And this is solid metal, just so you know. Anything in bubble wrap tends to be metal. So first thing I want is these ignition coils, which are in here. And I'm going to be putting these with this long shaft here into these large holes, the long shaft going into the small hole, so that they fit in just like this. Now, they are actually going to be held in from the other side with some F screws. I've got them here. So I'll screw these into place just from the underside here. So that's one in. Let me just put the other two in. And there we go. That's the 3 ignition coils into place. Then got this bracket that we're going to be putting over the top here. If I'm holding it this way here, this is going to be going on top like this here. So I'm just lining everything up. So that slots in just like that. This time I need a G screw. And that's going to go into this very top hole just here. That's the only one we're holding that in with at the moment. Okay. I've now got this bracket here, which is going to be going into the holes of the part we just put in. Just like this. Pushing that into position. That's looking good. And then taking this metal part here, this whole section with the 2 lugs here is going to go in there just like that. Ready to be held in from the bottom there. I'm going to be using 3 H screws for that. Now, even though the part we're going into is metal, the part we're actually screwing in is plastic. So H screws are plastic screws. Once again, you can tell they're plastic screws because of the threads. If the threads are spaced out, it's plastic. If they're tight together, it's for metal. Last screw just going in there. And then that's all 3 screws into place. And there we go. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 10, here's the instructions. And we have got very similar actually to exactly what we've just done. I should have done these together, I think. It's exactly like we've just done. So let's whiz through this. There you go, Wayne. Why don't you read ahead the instructions? Let you see what I mean about the bubble wrap? That's going to have the metal part in. Okay, so I will make this quick. I'm going to be putting the coils in first and holding them in with F screws. Put this massive bracket section over the top. So just line that up and make sure all the other parts are into place there. Turn it over. I'm just going to be screwing that into the position there, just with a G screw. Once again, I'm going to be putting this bracket on. This one's got a lot more nipples on the top of it. So once I push this down, I'll show you what this looks like. As you can see, excellent. And then once again, this is just going to be going on here, held in with 3 H screws. There you go, 2 stages, 2 parts of the engine here. In stage 11, here is the magazine. And wow, we've got a tiny bit here, and we've got some spark plug covers here. So we're going to be putting these 2 parts together, screwing these in. Looks like we're putting the spark plug covers into each side there and there. Okay. There doesn't look to be much in this stage, but you just know this is metal, by the way. You see it's in the bubble wrap. I think this one might be a little bit fiddly. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to be taking these 2 parts together and putting these in just like that. Now, this is slightly off center, so it's only one side will fit in. If you're unsure what side we're fitting in here, basically the one with the nipples on this side here is the one that's going to my left. I'm holding that in with eye screws, and this time we are going into metal, so I am dropping this into some oil. And once we've done one side, I'm just going to do exactly the same on the other side here. So that's how that should look. And then just into the sides here, I've got these spark plug covers, which just get pushed in here. So one there, there's 3 each side. Now they're purple, so it's a very colourful engine. And yes, that was a wild guess that they're purple, because to me they look pink. Colour blindness, it's the bane of my life. I think they're purple. There you go. So we've got them in that side and in that side, and that's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 12, here's the magazine. And we are now doing the lower center block and turbo, putting this together just like that. So then that's looking like that there. We're whizzing through this one. And again, we've got another large metal section in here. So in this section, it's just these 2 parts first that we're interested in. Case of just piecing these together to make one unit, just like that. Then this, if I bring over the engine we've been working on at the moment, is going to go in here. It's going to go this way round. So it's just a case of lining it up into the middle there. I'm holding that in with a H screw, which I've got in here. We just need one of these. It's going to be held in just from this top side here. So put that to one side. I'm just going to be bringing out parts of the turbo now, and we don't actually do a lot with this one, to be honest with you. All I'm going to do is insert this center blade into the turbo housing here, just like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage. So the penultimate stage of this pack is stage 13. Here's the instructions. And it looks like we've got some manifold pipes here. Oh, these are always fun to put together. Look at these. Okay, just like that. So then that's how that's looking. Now I always make these difficult. I don't think they need to be difficult. I'm hoping that when I do this now, it's going to go easy. We're going to find out. Now just looking on the back of these are numbered, like number 4, number 2, number 3, number 5. So I'm hoping if these are numbered as well, it's going to make things easy for us. They are numbered. So they're actually stamped on the sides here. So what I want to do first is find number 1, which I'm holding right here. So number 1 is going to go into the hole here, because there is a stamp behind this which says number 1 as well. Now we're going to be holding these in with screws from the other side. So I need some J screws and get that one in first. So it's just 6 pipes we're putting in. So if number 1's there, the next one's going to be number 6, which I've got. Oh, that's 5. Hang on a second. This one's number 6. That's going to go in there, held in with a J screw. Then I need number 5. That's going to go into the top one here. And that's actually just a push-in. I need number 3. Again, I'm looking at the back of the thing here to make sure I'm putting the right number in where it's actually going. Because as I said, they are all numbered behind there. Number 2. And then finally, number 4 at the top. So there we go. That's looking just like that. It's only these 2 here which are actually screwed in. But we are now going to be putting this onto the engine. So when we've got this, we want to make sure these are lined up, just like you can see there. I'm going to be lining these up all with the holes onto the engine here. This is going to be a little bit fiddly. But I've got the back ones in. I've got the front ones in. And I've got the middle ones in by the look of it. So there we go. That's all into position. But I do want to hold this into place, I believe. And I've got some J screws here. And we're holding them in from these 2 center points just here. And there you go. That was a little bit fiddly, but that's in. That's all there is to do in that stage. So that means the last stage of this pack, which is stage 14. Here's the instructions. And nice quick stage by the look of it. We're going to be doing the airbox. So it's just a case of a couple of screws into the top of this, putting this into position. So that looks like that. That was quite a pleasant build today. Okay, so taking the engine. It's going to be putting these over the top here. So I'm matching up all of those manifold pipes inside here. I want to make sure this is round the right way, so the keyhole pattern needs to be facing up. You can see that on the top camera there, and it will fit nice and flush in there. I do have some H screws, which I'm going to need now, because to put these in, you're going to need a long shaft screwdriver and put this through the hole there to engage the top, just like that. That's one side. Just do the same on the other side. All the way in, perfect. And then we're just closing that off with these caps here. And because it's a keyhole pattern, they can only go in one way. So one there, matching up the other one, and one there. And there we go. With that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So we do have bits for the turbo, which we haven't actually worked on at the moment. Most of it was this engine here. And obviously we've got this section here, which we haven't done anything with either. So we are starting to get some parts, which I am going to need to keep in that storage box. Otherwise, I'm going to lose them. Anyway, I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.